Hey you guys, it's Peter and welcome to my channel Peterisms, where I tell stories of my life and just little things that I have learned as I have grown into the person that I am today. And I'm filming some videos inside today and some videos outside because it's like 79. It's like 97 degrees outside. It is so hot and humid. So while I am uploading some videos, and here I'm sitting right in front of my computer, I thought that I would break out the meditation books and that we would do a few meditations just sitting here and relaxing. And this is what I sometimes do, like in the middle of my day when I'm like uploading stuff and I'm just sitting here, I'm like, you know what, I think I'm gonna go grab a meditation book and I'll read a meditation book and just it takes literally 2 to 5 minutes to read a meditation and kind of recenter yourself for the day. So a little example of how I sometimes restart my day when I'm kind of feeling a little sluggish or not inspired and things like that. All right, so let's get into this. Today is August 24th. It's my cousin Caroline's birthday. Happy birthday, Caroline. All right, let's get, and tomorrow is my anniversary. Very excited about that. All right, here we are with the Daily Book of Positive Quotations by Linda Picone. Time out. Live with no time out. Simone de Beauvoir. We can't push the pause button on our lives. Every day counts, whether we're doing our best or our worst. But even if we could call a time out when life becomes tense and stressful, would we really want to? Our life's clock keeps ticking no matter what. The only thing we truly have is time. Better to live every moment than to lose that time forever. As much as I may want to call a timeout in my life, I will live every moment as fully as I can. Okay, interesting meditation. So I have to tell you, I partly agree with this meditation and I partly disagree with this meditation, which rarely happens on this channel. If you watch my channel on a regular basis, you know that I rarely disagree with the things that are written in the meditations. But I don't know that I necessarily disagree with it. I think I just have a different perspective for it. So I am a believer in living every moment of your life. You know, I just talked about this in a video recently. I just read a meditation talking about being present and really enjoying your life and things like that. I really, really do believe that, okay? I also believe in a pause button, and I believe that I have a pause button, and I believe that I use my pause button on a pretty regular basis. And what I mean by that is that if I'm going through something, you know, and I understand the sentiment that Linda Picone is talking about in this meditation. She's saying we don't want to miss out on anything, the tragic, the traumatic, the sad, whatever, because we're learning from those things as well, right? And I agree with that. Like, we don't want to miss out on that. But taking a pause, you know, throughout your day when something is going on, or saying, okay, this is too much, like, I just need to take a moment in time and, like, I need to take a time out and just, like, lay down for a little bit, or I need to think about something else, or I need to go spend some time in my garden, or read an audiobook. I just need to take a pause. I need to take a pause because I'm going to become very reactionary if I don't. And that is something that I have to be very careful of, because that is something that I did for a very, very long time. And I've talked a lot about this in this video, or in this video. I've talked a lot about it in videos over here, is that for a very long time I was reactionary, not responsive. And there's a huge difference between being reactionary. You know, reactionary is when, like, somebody hits you, you hit them back, right? Responsive is somebody hits you and you go, wow, like, well, that wasn't very nice. And then you think about it and then you say to them later, hey, I just want to let you know that when you hit me, like, that didn't feel very nice. And I'm not really sure why you disrespected me that way. You collect your thoughts, you think about things, and then you respond to it, okay? My life has overwhelmingly changed since I have been responsive and not reactionary. I've had moments on YouTube where I've been reactionary, you know, and I'm not proud of those moments. Where, you know, I've had moments in my personal life for years and years and years where people would say things to me and I just smart back off at them, and I had a really, you know, a nasty mouth and a nasty lip. I don't want to be that person today, you know? I want to think through what I'm going to say. And sometimes to do that, I have to hit the pause button. Sometimes I have to hit the pause button and say, okay, it's okay. You don't have to respond. You don't have to react to this right now. You can sit on it for a little bit, you know? And I actually learned a very valuable lesson from this woman that I worked with way back in the day when I worked in treatment. And she at the time was a director of nursing. And there was like some argument that was going on about like some group room that was being shared at night. I don't believe I was really even part of this, but I inserted myself kind of into it and like was taking up for some of my, cohorts and my colleagues. And I do think that I was using like the group room like during one of these days or whatever, but it was like different units around the hospital all wanted this group room, right? And so I remember she came and she talked to me about it and like kind of asked my opinion and whatever. And I said to her something to the effect of like, I don't understand why it had been like several days. And I was like, I don't understand why you haven't made a decision about this yet. I can't remember exactly how it all went down. I mean, it's been like 25 years now, but I was like, I don't understand why you haven't like made a decision about this now or whatever. And now like all these different scenarios are going through my head. I'm like, was this about the group room or is this about something else? I don't know. But anyway, the sentiment is what's important. And the sentiment was, I said to her something to the effect of whatever the issue was, I didn't understand why she hadn't made a decision yet, and it had been several days. And she kind of sat back there, and she's a very wise woman and very calm. And she said to me, she said, Peter, she said, I choose to sit back, hear everybody's story, take it all in, and then kind of sit on it for a little bit and then respond in kind after I've made a decision. And I remember her saying that, and I don't think I thought at the time like, wow, that's the smartest thing in the world. I thought, how do you do that? Like, I can't do that. Like for me, I'd be like instantaneous response or reaction. I don't do that today. I don't, When people ask me to do stuff, I go, let me think about it, unless I know that I absolutely can't do it. When somebody says something to me that's not very nice, I choose to sit on it for a little bit and choose whether or not I want to respond to it, if it's worth it, if it's not worth it, because, within 2 or 3 days, a lot of things that I would respond to today don't really feel that deep in 2 to 3 days. So, yes, I understand in appreciating every moment of your life, the good, the bad, the ugly, right? Like, I understand that sentiment. But I also think it's important to realize that we can pause life at times and say, not today. Like, I need to take a pause and I need to sit on this for a little bit, and this is too much coming for me. When my mom was in the hospital in a coma, there were a lot of days that I had a lot of stuff coming at me, not just the fact that my mom was in a hospital. And I'd just be like, I'd call my aunt and I'd say, like, I can't do it today. Like, can you come up there and meet with me because I can't be up there alone today or whatever. And she'd say, yeah, absolutely, or somebody else would meet up there with me because it was just too emotionally draining to just be there by myself, And I think that's important too, is to ask for help in situations like that. But I don't want to be reactionary today. I want to be responsive. I want to think through my responses to things. I want to think through how I want to respond to the world and to people in my life, right? And to do that, I have to think through those things. So, good meditation, but I have a little bit of a different perspective on that. Okay, let's look at the Melody Beatty books and see what they have to say to us today. August 24th. Okay, this one's about a step, so let's go on to Journey to the Heart. August 24th. Let the lesson reveal itself to you. What's the next lesson, I ask? If you knew what it was, you wouldn't need to learn it, he said. Often in the midst of a lesson or experience, we tighten our minds into knots trying to figure out what we're learning, what's coming next, what the lesson is really about. But if we knew what the lesson was about, we wouldn't need to be learning it. The learning we're doing on our spiritual path is often not possible from our heads or books. It's a process of discovery. It includes many twists, turns, surprises, and upsets, much confusion, wondering, and stumbling until we reach a moment of clarity. To learn the lesson, we need to go through the experience. And usually we learn best when we're a bit vulnerable and uncertain about what we're learning. Trust that the lesson will reveal itself to you when it's time. Stay present for this moment. Let your experiences and guidance unfold. You're evolving and learning and growing right now. When the transformation is complete, you'll see what you've learned. Other people may be there to help us, teach us, guide us along our path, but the lesson to be learned is always ours. Interesting meditation. I think one of the most interesting things about it is that, I don't know about you, but I often don't even recognize or realize that I've learned a lesson until way past the lesson is learned, And I'll be like, wow, now I know why I went through that. now I know why I went through that difficult time or why I went through that hardship in my life. I realize it now, right? And sometimes I even learn the lesson way later, you know? Like, maybe the experience happens, but the lesson comes later, you know? And I'm grateful for what I went through. When at that time, it's like I want to push it away and be resistant to it. But down the road, looking back on it, I'm like really thankful that I went through that, you know, whether that's a breakup or just, you know, some other kind of life experience I've gone through, and I go, wow, now I understand why I went through that. It all makes sense to me now. I learned a lot of valuable things. I learned a lot of valuable lessons from this, and I'm thankful for that, you know, but I had to go through those things to learn it. So sometimes the lesson doesn't reveal itself till down the road, you know. So two interesting meditations today. I think this was a good meditation. I just had a different perspective than exactly what she said in it. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. And I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.